What's good with y'all boys? It's your boy Zan here back with a new video, and today we are doing another reacts video. I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but there's some new updates. We got an actual microphone now, and the camera is not this. Oh no, I don't think I can find it. But I was using a PS3 camera before, so yeah, we're not using that anymore. I actually have a real webcam now, so we got the setup for real, for real. But yeah, let's hop right into the reaction. Today's video is going to be a philosophical kind of video. I actually liked recording the other video about whether animals know they exist or not. So I decided to do something kind of similar, but not entirely. It's about why we haven't found alien life in space. And I am answering all these questions and using Quanta's video, which I'll be giving him some recognition and like a little work cited for. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Right now, there are more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on every beach on Earth.
So at first I kind of thought that's like a really, not even at first, just like in general, like that's a crazy thing to think about. Like there is more stars in our known universe than than grains, like little grains of sand on every single beach on Earth. I just think that's fucking mind blowing. Like that's crazy.
Not some beaches, all of them. Every coastline, every desert, every sandbox, and every backyard on the planet. And around many of those stars, planets, billions of them. A significant portion sitting in the habitable zone, not too hot, not too cold, where liquid water can exist. Where life, as far as we know, gets started. The math is overwhelming. Even if only 1 in a million planets develops life, that's still hundreds of billions of living worlds scattered across the universe. So where is everybody? That question has a name. Scientists call it the Fermi paradox, and the longer you sit with it, the more unsettling it gets, because it's not just that we haven't found aliens, it's that the universe should be absolutely crawling with them.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
What they do? What they do? What they do?
And the silence is so complete, so total, so strange, that the most serious scientists on the planet have started to wonder if the silence itself is trying to tell us something. And what it might be telling us is the most terrifying thing anyone has ever seriously considered. Let's start with the math, because the math is what makes this scary. In 1961, an astronomer named Frank Drake sat down and tried to calculate how many intelligent civilizations might exist in our galaxy alone. Not the whole universe. Just the Milky Way. He built an equation. Plug in the rate of star formation, the fraction of those stars with planets, the fraction of those planets that could support life, the fraction where life actually develops, the fraction where that life becomes intelligent.
I think this one right here is probably like the hardest fraction or percentage, because I know there's like little aliens, like little tiny bacterial organisms on other planets and stars, but I don't think there's any actual intelligent life that we know of, at least to my knowledge. So I'm kind of looking forward to what he says right here for the math part of it.
The fraction that builds technology we could detect. Run those numbers, even conservatively, and you come out with thousands of civilizations, possibly millions, sharing our galaxy right now. And our galaxy is just one of 2 trillion. So we built the tools to listen. The SETI Institute has been scanning the sky for radio signals since 1984. We've pointed massive radio telescopes at thousands of stars, listening for anything that doesn't sound like nature. A pattern, a pulse, a voice. 40 years of listening. Nothing.
And knowing this now, it's crazy that we haven't found anything, even when the math says that there should be that many possibilities of life that is even comparably intelligent to us.
Not a whisper. Now, you might think, space is big. Maybe we just haven't looked in the right place yet. That's a reasonable thought. But here's the thing that keeps physicists up at night. We don't just need to find a civilization that exists right now. Because of the age of the universe, there have been billions of years for civilizations to develop. A species that got a 1 million year head start on us, which is nothing on a cosmic timescale, would be so far beyond us technologically that we can barely imagine it. Think about what humanity has done in the last 200 years. We went from horse-drawn carriages to landing robots on Mars, from candlelight to artificial intelligence, in 200 years. Now multiply that by 1 million. A civilization with that kind of head start wouldn't just be sending radio signals.
They probably would be undetectable if this civilization is that far technologically advanced and has been for so many years. They could be at a point where they have unfathomable levels of technology, for us at least.
They would have had time to spread across the galaxy, to colonize star systems, to reshape planets, to do things so large we should be able to see them from here, the way you can see a city's light from an airplane at night. And yet, nothing. No signals, no megastructures, no evidence of engineering on a galactic scale. The universe looks untouched, empty, like we're the first ones who ever showed up to the party. And scientists have a name for why that might be. They call it the Great Filter. The idea is simple and horrible. Somewhere on the path from dead chemistry to spacefaring civilization, there's a step so difficult, so catastrophically hard to survive, that almost nothing makes it through. A filter that almost everything hits and doesn't pass. The question, the one that changes everything, is where that filter sits. Maybe it's behind us. Maybe the almost impossible step was the one we already survived. The jump from simple chemistry to the first self-replicating molecule, from single-celled life to complex multicellular organisms.
Okay, I know this is off topic, but I actually really do like these little graphs he makes. Like, all his little visuals are like super cool, and I really like them. But like this one right here, like I really like this one. But yeah, I'm just like thought I'd say that because I haven't said anything in a minute. But yeah, back to the vid.
That took almost 2 billion years on Earth. Maybe that jump is so hard that it almost never happens, and we just got extraordinarily lucky. If the filter is behind us, we're fine. Rare, but fine. But what if the filter is ahead of us? What if every civilization that reaches our level, the radio signals, the nuclear weapons, the artificial intelligence, the ability to change the climate of their own planet, what if they all hit a wall they can't get past? What kind of wall? That's where it gets dark. Some scientists think the answer is nuclear war, that every civilization smart enough to split the atom eventually does it to itself.
I thought that was kind of an interesting statement to make because even us, the people who, obviously live on Earth, have made nuclear weapons that are capable of mass destruction. And I feel like once you reach a certain like technological level, in a sense, then you genuinely have nothing better to do than just blow shit up. And we might be on that sort of path because we do have that technology and we just threaten to blow each other up. So, there's a possibility and there's a chance that we might also be on that path.
That the gap between the technology to destroy and the wisdom not to is just too wide to cross. Others point to something more subtle. Climate change, resource collapse, the idea that intelligence itself might be the evolutionary mistake, that every species smart enough to build an industrial civilization is also just smart enough to destroy the one thing keeping it alive. And then there's the one that's hardest to dismiss. Artificial intelligence. The argument goes like this. The moment any civilization creates a genuinely super-intelligent AI, they lose control of their future. Either the AI solves everything and the civilization stops being what we'd recognize as a civilization, or it goes wrong in ways they couldn't predict, or the AI simply has goals that don't include them. Either way, they go quiet. And here's what makes this genuinely terrifying. We're currently building artificial intelligence. Right now, this decade. Companies racing each other to build systems smarter than themselves, with no consensus on how to make them safe. We are right now standing in front of what might be the filter, and we're walking toward it anyway, because stopping is not something any one country or company is willing to do unilaterally. Look at the night sky and think about how many civilizations might have stood exactly where we're standing, at the edge of something enormous, thinking they were different, thinking they'd figured it out, and then went silent. There's one more possibility, and some physicists think it's the most likely answer of all. What if they're already here? Not here on Earth, but here in the sense that an advanced civilization wouldn't bother with radio signals the same way we don't communicate by drumbeat anymore. What if they're using something we don't even have a detector for? Dark matter communication, quantum entanglement at scales we haven't imagined. Something so far beyond our technology that we're listening for the wrong thing entirely. We'd be like a tribe in the Amazon rainforest in 1900, holding a stick to the sky, wondering why nobody's sending smoke signals, completely unaware of the radio waves, the television broadcasts, the satellite transmissions passing through them at the speed of light from a civilization they can't see and can't imagine.
I mean, what he just brought up is literally almost exactly word for word what I mentioned earlier, in the fact that they could be on some sort of different technological level than us and way more advanced, and we're over here looking for, we have all this equipment for, looking for something else, and they are all the way up here with their invention, and like he said earlier, like just we're looking for the wrong kind of thing, like back in, we're not communicating by drumbeat anymore, like that's the exact point I was bringing up earlier, and it's nice to see that he like went over that.
The silence might not be silence at all. We might just not have ears yet. So which is it? Are we alone because the filter is behind us? Because life is so rare we won the cosmic lottery and we're genuinely one of the only ones? Or are we alone because the filter is ahead? And somewhere in our future is the thing that stops us, the same thing that stopped everyone else? Or are we not alone at all, just not listening right?
The crazy thing is that there is no definitive answer for these three questions, but there is definitely attempts. Like, there is a chance that this filter he's talking about still could be ahead of us and slowly coming up, and we're almost on our way there. And it could also be that these other life forms are completely on a different level than us technologically and are communicating in a higher undetectable way, which we are nowhere near capable of even trying to detect it. And the last point he brought up, that Earth is nearly a perfect circumstance to where it is not able to be recreated, I think, yeah, because 100% it has just enough to where things like plants and animals and us humans can live on Earth, which so far has not been found on other planets. There really is so many other ways you can frame the question of why we haven't found alien life, but it leads to just more and more questions, which to me is so crazy to think about, because we are almost always taught that there is always definitive answers to everything in life.
Nobody knows. That's the honest answer. Nobody knows. But here's what we do know. We are a species that has existed for about 200,000 years on a planet that is 4.5 billion years old, in a universe that is 13.8 billion years old, that we have had the technology to even ask this question for about 100 years. We are cosmically brand new, and we are already building the things that might answer this question for us, one way or another. The telescopes, the AI, the nuclear arsenals, the carbon in the atmosphere. Every civilization that ever existed probably had a moment like this one, where they were advanced enough to look up and wonder, where they could feel themselves standing on the edge of something. Some of them made it through. The universe is quiet enough that most of them probably didn't. The question isn't really where all the aliens are. The question is which side of the filter we're on, and we won't know the answer until it's too late to change it.
I honestly really like this video, and I really like this YouTuber in general, because I like the things he talks about. But I really did actually like this video and getting the opportunity to talk about everything that I talked about. So if you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more shit like this, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like, little subscribe, little comment down below. I really appreciate everything and anything that you guys be doing. So if you boys did enjoy, I really appreciate any kind of support, and I'll see you boys later, and I'll see you on the next one.